So here's the examples he uses about this spirit, this philosophy that's been passed down through the ages. He talks about the Enlightenment, the Renaissance. Didn't talk about the Dark Ages or like when the bubonic plague was going around. I want to know about that. I want to know what they did then. But we're talking about, this is his words, Ryan Holiday, the pioneer spirit of America in the West, the preservance, what am I, dumbass moment, the perseverance of the Union cause during the Civil War. I don't know if he knows history very well. I'm like, yeah, that's more than just some wisdom. That's more than just some philosophy of thought. Let's remember the South had literally like no equipment and really didn't know how to do a damn thing for themselves because they were relying on the enslaved, right? They didn't know what the hell they were doing. They couldn't do work. And I'm not talking about all the people back then. I'm talking about the people that were in charge of seceding from the Union. So I think that's a really freaking bad example. And just, I don't like it. So he talks about in the bustle of the its industrial revolution. I got into that on Labor Day. We know that it was the economically disadvantaged, the immigrants, children, the enslaved that basically built this country. But he kind of makes it sound like it's the bigwigs, the people that built America. I think he's talking about the economy. I don't think he's talking about anything else. Um, bravery of the leaders of the civil rights movement. Okay, we're getting somewhere. All right. It helped prisoners of war in Vietnam. Not sure how to feel about that one. Um, I do know John McCain was a prisoner of war in I think he's an American hero for what he did over there. Um, then this one, just like the ultimate slap for me, and I'm quoting this verbatim. Air quotes. It surges in the DNA. It surges in the DNA of the entrepreneurs of Silicon Valley. So I guess Zucky, he's got this in his DNA. That makes me want to barf, okay? So I'm thinking, is this a book on how to succeed in business or life or what? But I disagree. I don't think that Zuckerberg has this surging through his DNA. That's that's just taking it too far, Ryan. All right, you're not a scientist. Don't act like one. So the philosophy is what made self-made men um great. They use it to be great, and it's also the philosophy of those in positions of great responsibility, which we all know is motherhood, parenthood. Okay, don't disagree with me. Um, or people that are in great trouble, and I'm thinking the wrongly accused, maybe. He doesn't talk about what great trouble they could be in, but you know, we can imagine that for ourselves. So this philosophy was on the battlefield. Apparently, it's in the boardroom. Can't forget, corporations are people too. This advice applies to them. They need to hear it. Um, they have their own traumas. Those corporations, they struggle. I'm telling you. All right, so now he's starting to get more inclusive. He says that through the centuries, across oceans, centuries, all kinds of people have succeeded with this method. It's not just self made men, it's not just men at war, because that's what he started with. Every group has used it. It does not discriminate against gender, class, cause, or business status. Because all of these people, remember the corporations are people too, they have had struggles and have been able to turn them into triumphs. So I can agree with that. We're all in this human experience together, and it doesn't matter who you are. Holiday is right when he says it's our birthright. Or no. No, I don't think he's right when he says it's our birthright. That's what he says. Is it our birthright? I I don't know. We're born with free will. Some of us, not all of us. We're born with choice. Some of us, not all of us. All right. Throughout history, just think about it. Like, uh, I'm just not liking the preface here. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you, Ryan Holiday. I don't like it. I think you need to redo it. But we need to choose because we have the choice. Some cases that are we going to ever overcome the obstacle or are we going to let it block us? Also, he says there's two types of people. There are those that show the world how badass they are when that their mountain presents a challenge to climb and they say, yes, I'm doing it. I'm going to climb that mountain anyway. All right? It's in my way, but I'm going to fucking climb it. I am going to climb it. And then there's these out of these world people. They're very rare, according to Ryan Holiday. They're very rare. And they will not only say yes, they're going to climb up that mountain. They say hell yes. They went up that mountain, they're making it to the summit, and then it's just all downhill after that, baby. All right? Just don't ski into Gwyneth Paltrow because that's going to be a whole new obstacle. All right? Uh, I just, there's no source for this data. It's all anecdotal. Like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? That's what I'm thinking. But these people know data to show this is how they really feel. Like, say the challenge makes them better. They're glad the challenge was there. They're stronger and better people because they had an obstacle and get through it and they're stronger for it. Who are the people that he interviewed for this? Okay. So we're all now challenged to be one of them. All right. I'm not sure which one. Is he wanting us to be the one who says, hell no, I don't like heights, I'm not climbing that mountain? The one who says, okay, I'm down? Or the one who is already halfway up the mountain because they live and thrive on adrenaline? Again, biological. So it's a fight or flight. I heard freeze recently, and then fawn. Why do all of these start with F? I think I know. I think I know why these words all start with F. Yeah, the biological, your heart racing, all that stuff. The traumas, all that. So this, I believe, we are all fighters, or you wouldn't still be listening to this, right? And yeah, I have questions, but this is just the preface. The other chapters get into the nitty gritty details of the philosophy of Stoicism. I'm excited to learn more and then take the good and what I agree with and leave the rest and still criticize Ryan if he says stuff that's just Tomorrow I'm going to go over the introduction. Yes, there's an introduction after the preface. I'm just going to do a part of it since these are supposed to be shorter videos. Now it's like half an hour long, but the introduction would be way longer. So we'll do that introduction over the weekend, and then next week we can start part one, which is perception, and that's about as subjective of a subject as I can think of. So I hope everyone is excited to learn more. I'm going to put a warning statement. There could be triggers. If you are triggered at all, text HOME, HOME, to 741-741 from anywhere in the United States. It's the crisis helpline. They will help you get through anything.